Hi, it's John, and welcome to the channel, 6:04 a.m. with the big blue mug of coffee. It is Thursday, June the 12th. Hope you're having a great day today. I certainly am. And thank you for being here. You're one of 32,000 people who have subscribed to this channel. If you click subscribe, if you haven't done that, I ask you kindly to do that right now. Thank you so much. So about a week ago, I did a video saying there is a familiarity starting to seep into my soul when it came to this Liberal government. I think I said that exactly in those words. And boy, are we getting this on a regular basis. I wanted today to run through some of the people who are running the country, running your lives, and I think ruining the country. And the familiarity is the same as I had when Justin Trudeau was Prime Minister prior to the election. It's the same thing under Mark Carney. So let's start off with the Minister of Innovation, Science and Industry of Canada, Melanie Joly. Here she is, sounding all sciencey, and she's basically lecturing car companies on how to run their companies at the 2025 Automotive Summit. Check this out.
So we worked with a couple of companies to make sure that they would invest in Canada. But not only did we support these investments, but these investments that we've supported are particularly important as their battery plants. Battery plants are good for the EV sector, but they're good also for other sectors of the economy. And so that is something that we're looking at because essentially they can be applicable to many industrial sectors that need basically energy in a box, which is a battery. We're protecting our domestic market. We're investing in the transition. Yes, in our platform, we said that we would bring back EV subsidies. I think it's really important. It will have an impact on demand. We're willing to put money where our mouth is to make sure that we're investing in these battery plants. But in the end, we think that everybody needs to be able to work on this to make it a success. But we still believe that we want to get to a net zero reality, net zero economy environment by 2050, I'm sorry.
There is the Minister of Innovation, Science and Industry of Canada, Melanie Joly, sounding all sciencey about batteries. I mean, we're doomed. And lecturing car companies about the vehicles they have to manufacture in Canada. Because folks, we're going all electric by 2035. We'll get to that in just a moment. Not only that, but they're going to subsidize EV battery companies. They're going to subsidize car companies to build EV cars they don't want to build. They're going to subsidize you so you can purchase these vehicles that you don't want to buy. And not only that, if this is the case and we're going all in for electric, it means we're not going in for oil, so there won't be any pipelines. Here's an article right here. This is just from June 10th. Canada's EV mandate must be repealed, Ford Canada CEO says. And he just goes on to say that people don't want to buy these vehicles. They're rotting, sitting in the lots of car companies and car dealers. People don't want them. But they have to build them. So the other thing is this, if you're a car company in Ontario, why wouldn't you just move all your manufacturing to the United States where they're not going to be forced to do this? That could be the next thing coming down the line. Meanwhile, Joly says she's protecting jobs here in Canada by doing all this subsidizing, using your money. And then we've got Julie DeBruzen, Minister of Environment and Climate Change, standing in the House of the Commons the other day being grilled about this 2035 mandate on electric vehicles and admitting that you won't be able to buy the vehicle you want in your country, and it's coming real quick.
According to the Liberal Party's website, the government's, and I quote, set a mandatory target that all new light-duty cars and passenger truck sales be zero emissions by 2035, end quote. Is this statement correct?
Minister.
We do have in place a regulation that sets consistently increasing targets for EV sales going to 100%.
There you have the Minister of Environment and Climate Change, Julie DeBruzen, radical left-wing lunatic climate cultist, telling you that you're going to have to be driving an electric vehicle after 2035. And I played a similar clip to that the other day, but it goes hand in hand with idiot Melanie Joly, the sciencey minister. And I'm sure there are leftists out there going to tell me that she's a very smart person, John. She's got degrees and whatnot. You don't have them. Listen, they're school smart and they're street smart. She's lecturing car companies about their own business. I don't think it's Melanie Joly's business at all to be telling car companies what cars they should be buying. I think they know better. God. And you ever notice that the Minister of the Environment and Climate Change isn't much about the environment anymore? We used to clean stuff up in this country. There's still lots of things to be cleaned up. That's the way it was when I was younger. We used to clean up rivers. We used to clean up streams. We used to clean up old industrial places. It seems that the Minister of the Environment and Climate Change is more about climate these days. The environment part is about keeping things in the ground. The climate part is the reason why we keep things there. Did you ever notice that? Anyway, moving on to the next one. Let's talk about housing. Of course, Carney, during the election, talked about making it better for people to buy a house in this country, something that Pierre Poilievre made an issue. Remember, Justin Trudeau said that housing isn't a federal responsibility. Remember that? I do.
And I'll be blunt as well. Housing isn't a primary federal responsibility.
So we're going to create this massive government agency that's going to build houses here. And the other day in the House of Commons, Chrystia Freeland talked about this. I'm going to show you Patty Hajdu, the Minister of Jobs and Families, and her response to a question regarding the new houses that Carney is going to build, which are probably going to be modular in some type and probably boxes that don't have a nice backyard and probably won't even have a driveway in them. So let's see that clip and we'll come back and I'll show you the kind of houses that Mark Carney's talking about building.
Member for York Durham.
Mr. Speaker, my generation refuses to live in a shipping container.
Mr. Speaker, I've traveled all across this country. It's a huge privilege of this job, and I visited families in every riding from every walk of life, and I can tell you that modular housing, which provides a housing solution for so many families, is not a shipping container. And to speak with such a demeaning tone about families that are living in a variety of different kinds of housing really indicates the kind of disrespect that the Conservative Party of Canada has for low-income Canadians and middle-income Canadians, Mr. Speaker.
Hajdu turning this into a typical liberal thing, an identity politics type thing, criticizing the question more than answering it. I see this online. Yesterday on X, I responded to it. That in just a moment. Grandfather time for educational purposes for Conservative MPs. The one on the left is a modular home. The one on the right is a shipping container. I'm happy to help you see the difference, to which I responded, this is Carney's modular home. Funny, this is a home from Modular Group, a company now owned by Brookfield. Carney's old company, stacked boxes. And that's what you're going to get. By the way, I was just wondering, have we heard yet Carney's business dealings? Has he revealed all? Still waiting to hear about that. Now, moving along here to Gary Ananda Sangari, who is the public safety minister. This guy's a piece of work. By the way, I'd like to figure out how we pronounce this guy's name. I don't think Carney knows how to pronounce it, or maybe I'm doing it wrong. Ananda Sangari, that's the way I say it. Gary Ananda Sangari, public safety minister. Well, our public safety minister asks officials to screen him from conflict of interest. This is from Global News. Public Safety Minister Gary Ananda Sangari has stepped back from national security decisions related to the Tamil community. He has acknowledged in a statement from Global News. I won't go deep into this. Moose on the Loose, by the way, did a great job on this. I'll put a link to his video below if you want to watch more about this. It'll just turn your stomach. After the war ended in 2009, Ananda Sangari helped hundreds of Sri Lankan migrants who had paid human smugglers to ferry them to Canada's west coast on board the ships MV Ocean Lady and MV Sunsea. When the Sunsea was heading for Canadian waters, he supervised the preparation of an injunction in the event Canada blocked the entry of the ship, according to his LinkedIn page. The Associated Press reported that he said those on board would have legitimate refugee claims, even if some were members of Sri Lanka's Tamil Tigers rebel group, which is a recognized terrorist group here in Canada. Mark Carney, the Prime Minister of Canada, he's fine with this. He defended it.
I'll say Minister Ananda Sangari has the highest standards of integrity. He's absolutely meticulous. He performed his duties as Justice Minister, amongst others, Attorney General, with a very clear focus on where there could be actual or perceived conflicts, emphasize on that. We have a rigorous vetting process, and he's taken the right decision in his judgment and in my judgment to make these arrangements. We will be well covered with respect to all public security decisions. Thank you.
Do you feel safer having that guy, Gary Anandasangari, as your public safety minister? He's got all kinds of propaganda. I'm running it in the background. Here's the propaganda of him protecting your borders. You're getting lots of propaganda from the Liberals these days. Carney thinks this guy's just fine. I'm going to go out on a limb here, folks. Call me whatever you want, any R word you want. But maybe it should be mandatory that you're born in this country to be a politician, because I don't think this guy has the best interest of Canada in mind. I think his best interest is back in his old country. I'm just going to put it that way. Moving along, we're not done with Carney yet. Andrew Scheer, the interim leader of the Conservative Party in the House of Commons question period the other day, trying to get you some of your money back. The ArriveCan app. Tens of millions of dollars wasted on, I think, 2 guys. Carney stands up with that smug, arrogant, liberal look on his face. I'd like to wipe it off his face. And that's not a threat. I'd just like to do it. And defends this as well. Here's the exchange.
The Auditor General slammed the Liberal government for giving GC Strategies, the top Arrive scam contractor, $64 million in contracts since they took office. $64 million to a 2-person IT company that did no IT work and is under RCMP investigation. Instead of empty words like, we accept the Auditor General's findings, how about the Prime Minister show some concrete action, vote for our motion, and get Canadians their money back?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, this government is focused on best-in-class procurement. That is why we're put in place a new Department of Government Transformation. That is why we're putting in place a new Department of Defense Procurement to get taxpayer value for money, to build the strongest economy in the G7. That is how we'll get value for Canadians.
So there you go. More familiarity seeping into my soul, probably your soul as well. Millions of Canadians feeling the same way as you. Meet the new boss, same as the old boss. Meet the new party, same as the old Liberal Party. Same old tired, stale, corrupt, money-wasting party we had before, who just provide us with a lot of verbal diarrhea. More reason for Alberta to gain its independence, folks. Here's another one. I'm going to leave you with this. Kate McMillan. Website Small Dead Animals. If you don't like political incorrectness, don't go there. But if you do and you don't care, they don't mince any words. I have them bookmarked as my homepage on my computer, and it's been like that for decades now, I think. Here's Kate. Kate Work on X if you want to follow her. BC Ferries tweets out that they're going to have some new ferries built by China. Kate saying China still has 100% tariffs on Canadian canola. Thanks, Team Canada. Hashtag Yellow Elbows. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, and I will see you in the next one.